No, 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 no.
A few moments later.
Joe Russo says, and I quote, "As proof of the unimaginable possibilities of the Marvel multi-universe," then proceeds to bring out Robert Downey Jr., the MCU's biggest star. Bringing him back is a completely imaginable possibility given all of Marvel's failures. You know what would be unimaginable? If Tom Cruise stepped out there or Patrick Swayze rose from his grave to play Dr. Doom. This is just a desperate move by a failing studio, which confirms everything we've known for years, and it proves they've become obsessed with short-term success at the cost of building something that's gonna last. Casting RDJ as Doom might be the most meta casting decision of all time, regardless of the route they take. Let's just go through all the possibilities, then get into some more detail. First, they could just make him an Iron Man variant who becomes evil and renames himself Victor Von Doom.
Well, that sounds terrible.
It is terrible.
The second option is he's not a variant and actually plays Victor Von Doom. Frankly, I don't care about how much people, myself included, love him as Iron Man. He is not a great choice to play Doom. He's a fantastic actor, but there are people much better suited for the role, ones who haven't already played the MCU's biggest hero. The last option I can think of is that it's infamous Iron Man, i.e. Victor Von Doom becomes Iron Man. I could see how in their idiotic heads, that kills two birds with one stone. They have Doom on screen, but they get to put RDJ back in an Iron Man suit. It doesn't matter if they pick one of these options or somehow come up with an even worse one. This is easily the laziest decision Marvel has ever made in the history of the MCU. They know they don't have time to develop a new Thanos-level villain in 2 years, so they're banking off RDJ's popularity or using his history as Iron Man to potentially adapt some shitty modern-day comic to try and somehow make Doom work right now. Iron Man being a villain is also a meta way of having the new crop of heroes prove they're better than the old ones, since they'll have to defeat Iron Man, arguably the greatest MCU hero. Even if it's all wink wink nonsense like, oh remember he's not Iron Man, he's Dr. Doom now, they know damn well that's what they're doing. It's a really scummy, disrespectful, and lazy way to try and make something of their garbage roster of knockoffs and second-rate heroes. This pretty much confirms they're going with the 2015 Secret Wars, considering the Fantastic Four and Dr. Doom are in these films. The Russos claim they love the original, but all signs point to their movie being closer to the shitty modern day version, which actually sidelines most of the Avengers in favor of the Fantastic Four and Dr. Doom. While we're on the topic of the Avengers and Marvel heroes, look at the characters the MCU has to deal with now. A barely off the ground rebooted not so Fantastic Four, Captain Knockoff, and the Dollar Tree Suicide Squad. Those are the ones Feige made a special case of telling us were in those Avengers movies at SDCC. Maybe you can also throw in some heroes like Doctor Strange, Spider-Man, Hulk, and Thor, but none of that is confirmed yet. They absolutely destroyed the bank to pay for his return, so make no mistake, these Avengers films are about RDJ's Doom, not the Avengers. It wouldn't even surprise me if RDJ also plays an Iron Man variant who fights RDJ as Doom. The fact is, there's a reason that this movie's big tagline everywhere you look is RDJ is Dr. Doom, and it's not because they have faith in their puny new Avengers lineup.
God help us all.
Stephen McFeely is writing these movies and the Russos are directing, which sounds great, but we've had multiple instances of people coming back to a franchise and being completely different people who make a completely different product. Also worth noting is that only McFeely is back, and since he was half of the Russos' original writing team, who knows how that really affects things. Even if they haven't changed, who's to say Marvel is gonna let them write and direct the way they used to? They could easily just use them for name recognition and force them to continue down the garbage path the MCU has been on since Endgame.
It gets way worse.
Here's the biggest problem, and it's the reason I mentioned earlier that this is a bad long-term strategy. Say these movies are great, does that bring audiences back for non-Avengers movies? It's the same issue we just had with Deadpool and Wolverine. What Marvel has noticed and is taking advantage of instead of trying to fix is that now people are showing up to see specific characters, not solely because a movie has the Marvel name on it, like they did during the MCU's glory days. I've said for a while that if Marvel brings back good quality writers, directors, and creatives, then I'd be willing to give them a chance. so I don't want it to sound like I'm not doing that here, but at the same time it's hard to think they're gonna allow them to make the same type of content they used to. I'm willing to give them a chance since they made the MCU's greatest movies, but I have a feeling the more we learn about this, the more we're gonna realize things will never be the same. This doesn't sound like a studio trying to fix things, it reeks of a greedy studio looking for one last cash grab.
We have been hoodwinked, bamboozled, led astray, run amok, and flat out deceived.
By bringing back people like Robert Downey Jr., they're giving the audience false hope for what the MCU could become again. Once they realize those Avengers movies were one-off events and things are returning to the status quo of diversity hires and girl bosses, audiences are going to walk away just like they did after Endgame. What makes all of this even more hilarious is that, like you saw at the beginning of this video, Deadpool and Wolverine just made fun of the multiverse and admitted it's a failure, yet they continue down this road. Robert Downey Jr. is Iron Man, it's that simple. Whether it takes 1 year or 5 or even 10, people are eventually going to call this exactly what myself and tons of others are going to be labeled haters for calling it now. A lazy, massive, and disrespectful mistake.